Okay, I want to talk about being angry and how hard that can be sometimes to find the space or the context where it is safe and it is effective to let out anger. And this is something that men especially have problems with. I have a problem with this because it is not easy to find a place to do it. You can't just go to the park like this and start screaming and hitting things. It just doesn't work. And so there is one way though, where that I know of, that it's more socially acceptable to express something related to anger. And it's not a perfect corollary, but it will help if you're feeling some things and you don't know how to express it in a way that won't get the police called on you and will actually perform what expressing an emotion does. It has a purpose and there's a need for it, and that's why we feel the feelings, is to express them. So, for men, the way that I find is perhaps the easiest and most socially acceptable way to do it, if you can't find a private place to do it, is to do it with exercise. And not just any exercise will do. If you want to release some of the emotion, some of the energy that surrounds anger, you have to exercise in a way that is intense. It doesn't have to last very long, but there does need to be an intense physical response. There needs to be a stimulus that's really significant. So, how do we do that? Now, you could do it in a number of different ways, but the one that I want to demonstrate for you is in a set of push-ups. Now, I use push-ups because they are very accessible. They are very well understood by most people. Most people have done push-ups, and they also scale pretty well to whatever fitness level you're at. Now, this is all in service of releasing emotional tension to feel better, okay? And specifically, anger. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to do a set of push-ups, and I'm gonna push it as far as I can possibly push it. And that's the point. The point is to summon up as much of your inner grit and will and pour it out into your set of push-ups so that you will find it's a bit of an emotional release to get it out. You'll be struggling with these inner demons, basically, that are screaming at you to stop doing what you're doing. So you're gonna have a lot of internal resistance to continuing after the point where it starts getting really uncomfortable. But we're gonna push through that. We're gonna move beyond psychological failure, and we're gonna go until we hit muscular failure. So psychological failure would be like, this is really uncomfortable and I wanna stop, and you stop. And muscular failure will be the actual muscles just don't have anything left. They're gassed, they're done, and they can't even hold your weight anymore. They just give out. So, and it takes practice. You won't get it on your first try, but with some practice, you can do it. And I'd like to show you what that looks like. Now, this can be scaled to any level. So if you need it to be easier, then you can go and elevate your hands on something like this. The higher up your hands are, the easier it is. The lower your hands, the harder. I'm just gonna show you on flat ground because that's the most common. And I'm gonna set up this camera right here nice and close so you can see specifically, so you can see my face, because that's where you'll see the effort really happening. You'll see it in my face and you can't fake it. It's if you're doing your set and on your last repetition, you're kind of just like, you're not there. It's like, what is it? I don't know, exercising a demon or something. It's intense. And while you will get looks, it's much better than expressing your anger in other ways. So let me show you what that looks like. And remember, this can be done with a lot of different exercises. It could be chin-ups, it could be squats, body weight squats even, all sorts of things. Okay, let's see here. Bring you down just a little bit. Okay, so the key here to stay safe with it and not hurt yourself is to go really slow, and to do it at a level, you might have to raise your hands up, but to do it at a level where you'll reach the failure point in, say, 10 repetitions, maybe 15 at most. So for me, when I go really slowly, I tend to max out at around 10, 9, 10, 11, something like that, depending on how slow I go. The slower you go, the harder, and the better and the safer, okay? Now remember, the point is the discomfort. The point is bringing out the energy and the emotion that you've got and putting it out into the movement. And that is what's going to make you feel better afterwards. And the muscular development, the bone density, the metabolic effects, all those are just silver linings. We're here for the psychological benefit. Okay, so nice and slow, nice and deep. A little pause at the bottom. We're going slow, and don't go all the way to the top, and certainly don't pause at the top, because that's just resting, and that's going to make it all last longer. And the point is to reach that failure point and to pour everything you've got into it. And you can even, if you find it helps, try and get in touch with what's making you angry. Try and go there so that you can move with all of this muscular effort towards getting that emotion out. Now it's starting to get hard. Try and breathe freely. Don't hold your breath. Push. Keep going. Don't stop when it gets hard. I couldn't finish that one. Okay. Give me a sec. So, okay. When it's done, indulge in the relief. Indulge in having gotten it, having done it. Big breaths. That's basically it. Now, I'm gonna shake it off a little bit. You only need to do it once per exercise. If you wanted to keep going and do it with other exercises, that's great. But you only need to do it once per exercise. And it's a great workout. It's honestly fantastic. So this is one with a lot of, just a lot of side benefit. It's all over the place. But I'm here for the psychological part. And this is, if you don't have a way of moving an emotion like anger, then it sits in you and it festers and it makes you bitter and resentful. You gotta have a way to get it out. And exercise is at least, it's culturally acceptable enough. Even though you may not normally see people doing push-ups with that level of intensity, it's still in the realm of acceptable. And generally speaking, if somebody does see you doing it, while they might be like, whoa, going a little extreme there, they will also respect the effort. Especially men, see that? No, I found women respond to it just fine too. It's across the board. People respect effort. And so putting as much effort as you can into that will get you the maximum physiological benefit and the maximum psychological benefit. Okay, give that a shot. If you're feeling something and you don't know how to get it out, a set of push-ups to absolute failure really helps. And quick note about that failure point, it's really tempting to experience a high degree of resistance during the later reps and think that you've reached failure. But true failure happens slowly. It's a gradual process. And even once you've reached the point where you can't continue pushing up any higher, you might find that with maximum effort, all you can do is stay in one place. That's good. Stay there as long as you can. Keep pushing as hard as you can until you start to involuntarily lower. And just ride that out as slowly as you can. Then you're done. Okay. That's it. Whew. That's awesome. I love it. And I hope you get some use out of it. All right. See you next time.